journalist as well as well-meaning analyst on the show this Saturday afternoon. But remember that we won't be taking text messages today. So you have to go on Facebook and Twitter. It's facebook.com/Galaxy TV. You can also tweet at us at Galaxy TV. That's where we'll take our feedbacks from this afternoon. I'm joined by Victor Aya. Thank you very much for finding time to come.
Thank you for having me once again.
Deepo Olayo also joins us today on Editor's Forum.
It's always a pleasure. Yes, Captain.
Yeah, Mr. Kaya is a troublemaker.
I was gonna say that. You took my opening line away from me. Thank you for having me here, giving me the platform to make trouble again.
Okay.
But hopefully a positive trouble.
Okay, just make your trouble in line with the provisions of NBC. All right, let's kickstart the show right now.
I'm not in media outfits.
It's all right. Let's kickstart the show right now and begin with the verdict from the Federal High Court in Abuja. It appears that the argument prior to this time was that it was simply an executive order, and some were saying it should have gone through the court. Would you say that the federal government had gotten it right, finally, Victor?
In the first place, Nigeria is a comic nation, in the sense that those things that actually deserve attention are not given attention. It is those things that do not deserve attention that we are giving priority attention to. One may ask why I'm taking this position. I'm taking this position in the sense that we have a group of people they call formerly Fulani herdsmen. Later they have been redesigned as foreign herdsmen who are decimating, killing Nigerians, and nobody has deemed it fit, not the government, not the military has deemed it fit to proscribe this group of people. It is people who are protesting, who are acting within the laws of international laws, according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that says that people have the right to choose the country they wish to belong to.
But let me also remind you very quickly the position of Lai Mohammed, because we can easily get carried away and say that IPOB has been operating within the confines of the law. Now, Nnamdi Kanu operates Radio Biafra from London. Most of the utterances from that particular media outfit can be considered as inciting violence. I'm going to quote something for you. Mohammed argued that Kanu was caught on video in London in 2005 soliciting money for weapons. He added that I think anyone who has watched Kanu's videos knows that anywhere he goes, he openly solicits arms and funds. I have a lot of quotations from him as the violent nature of IPOB. In one of his videos, he said if he was arrested, his boys should burn down the country. I mean, he also have mentioned, he has several times called Nigeria zoo. What makes this different from a terrorist act?
Okay, before I go to that point, there was a time Senator Samuel and the First Lady talked about Nigeria where we have hyenas and the lions and all that. Is it not in zone that we have hyenas and
they did not run a radio station where this particular statement was being
let us
made
put things
consistently.
in proper perspective, because it is very easy for us. We choose one aspect of issues that are happening in Nigeria, we feast on it, but other things we downplay them. It is because we are giving preeminence to this issue of IPOB that is being looked at as the worst thing. But we have a greater challenge in Nigeria, which I have just mentioned, foreign herdsmen who are killing people. Just last week a man was in his farm in Edo State, farming, and he saw cattle coming, and he was just trying to free them away. They gunned him down. What is worse than that? I've never seen anywhere where IPOB took guns and began to kill people. So I'm not happy when I'm hearing all this. That you see a greater challenge. We see people coming from other countries. They were formerly known as Fulani herdsmen. They have rebranded as foreign herdsmen. It's only in Nigeria that you see foreigners. Let us now take them as foreigners coming to people's farms to kill them. At the time, they even invaded classroom. Nobody is talking about them. It is the people who are protesting that they want to be in their own country.
Let me bring people in on this conversation. I am concerned about the readiness of our foreign partners, especially we are a member of the United Nations. The UK, for instance, the UK government rejected the request from the federal government to shut down the Radio Biafra in London based on the need to protect freedom of speech. Now, all it took to kill the Tutsis, the Hutu and Tutsi war, was a radio station like that, calling people cockroaches. Does it sound, I found it unacceptable to hear that London is saying we can shut it down, and what they're doing is within the confines of freedom of speech.
There was a statement released by the
British High Commission?
Yes, in about day before yesterday, that statement might not be entirely true. That yes, they appreciate the fact that you are entitled to some freedom of speech, but they also appreciate the fact, they underlined it, that your freedom of speech should not threaten the existence of the other country. And they made their position very, very clear, that they still go by the geographical setting called Nigeria. So it will be difficult for us to blame Britain. Don't forget that during the time to get late General Abacha out of office, we had Radio Kudiratu that was operating, so to speak, from Nigerian perspective illegally.
That's right.
But if you listen to them, they were trying to tell people why it was necessary to get the military out. Not the type of language that this guy is using on his radio.
It was a non-violence approach.
Yeah, on the issue of France, you see, I think there's a need for us at times when we see statements, especially headlines in the papers, there's a need for us to read the papers to really understand what people are talking about. When the Minister of for Information said they have it on good authority that the money being used to fund IPOB was from France.
The diaspora.
He didn't say by France.
That's
There's
right.
a need for us to underline these two words. And he went further to say it will be difficult for them to take action, from Nigeria, because there are some people that are sending monies to their families through Western Union for genuine reason. So if you want to go after everybody, you are going to likely affect people that depend on their people that are. So that will tell you that what the minister was saying, that some people under the guise of sending money to their parents are using this money to fund IPOB. So the minister never accused France of funding IPOB. So when people are saying France denied funding, I said the president never, the minister never. He said the funding was from, not by. Now to the issue of the action in the court. The law is very, very clear. This matter will be taken to a judge who will sit in his chambers. And it never talked about giving the other person either notice or stuff like that. If you want to understand IPOB, yes, already as of today, IPOB remain banned. Whatever is going to happen is based on, at least, thank God, the lawyer has gone to court yesterday to go and challenge that order. But as of today, IPOB remain banned. As to the issue of what constitutes terrorism, or Terrorism Act, maybe you need to go and look at this Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011. Section 1 is very, very clear. That's how it opens. It talks about a lot of things.
Activities and you can get involved with.
Yes, and then it talks about even threatening. You have not carried out the act. Threatening
the sovereignty
to do certain things. Instigating people to do certain things. So whether you carry arms or not, there's a need for us to go and look at that law. It's very, very wide in scope. It can entangle a lot of things. But if you want to understand the havoc that the activity of this guy has done to Nigeria, you need to go and read the statement released by the governor of Abia State yesterday. He said the guy's activities was capable of putting the life of 11.6 Migos at risk. The Deputy Senate President, Ike Kerimadu, by geographical location is an Igbo, said, very lengthy document he released, that the guy was going, the way he was going as if there's no law. And what this guy is asking for, the way he's going about it, that you even to realize it, you will need the support of other people which you are abusing. The Yorubas to him are cowards and worse than criminals.
Even his own governors.
The Hausas to him are Fulani goats. The Jonathan to him is an imbecile who handed over to a Fulani goat. Ekerimantu said even these statements cannot guarantee Igbos getting this thing that this guy is talking about. The governor of Ebonyi State, in his speech when he addressed the press after the other governors met and said, no, we are going to stop the activity of this guy. He said, and I said, there's nowhere in the world that you have boys attacking the soldiers and expect soldiers to fold their arms. If you go to the issue of Terrorism Protection Act, they will define for you what constitutes an arm. It doesn't have to be guns and weapons. Cutlasses, gadgets, stones that they are using to Terrorism Act is arm. So, if we are looking at what has happened, like Okremadu said, which I think I can agree with him, he said what is left for the Igbos now is there's need for them to come together and begin to moderate the agitation of the IPOB guys. I think if you have been visited Igbo land in the past 4 or 5 months, and you go there again, you will now know that there's a serious calmness and there's a serious orderliness. Something needed to be done to stop that madness that was going.
Let's bring the viewers in on this discussion. You can be a part of it by sending your messages to the social media handles showing on your screen. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Galaxy TV. You can also tweet at us at Galaxy TV. We're limited to those platforms for this particular episode, so do not send text messages. There is no phone line to call. Just send your reactions to facebook.com/Galaxy TV and tweet to us at Galaxy TV on Twitter. Let me come to you, Yemiseka. There are many who, the action of the federal government is greeted by mixed reactions. Some would say, oh, where was the federal government's mind all the while? This is what they should even have done a long time ago. But would you say that the proscription of Biafra marks an end to this agitation?
Definitely not, and I'll be sincere with you, definitely not. Let's start with the proscription by the federal government. I came here last week and I told you, when the DHQ pronounced or declared IPOB, I said those guys are a bunch of jokers. And I relied on Section 2 of the Prohibition Act of 2011. And, to some people that were jumping around like an excited iron, a chemical reaction on social media, I don't know, coming up with an ingenious amended act of 2013. I was wondering where they got that from. I tell you, it was, we now find that the government know what to do. And to me, I'm not a lawyer, but to my common sense of law, this seems to stand like an ex parte order that naturally can be vacated for a duration of time, or if the other party in this matter go to court and present its case, this thing can be overturned. But for now, IPOB remains proscribed and a legal organization as far as we're concerned. In our nomenclature, it's a terrorist organization. Yeah, another thing I want to point out is this. There's a massive disinformation or misinformation from the presidency. Earlier in the day, before the Commander-in-Chief went to United Nations General Assembly, we had this news line around that the president has signed the proclamation order. And that was wrong, because the court has to be the one that will proclaim IPOB as a terrorist organization. What the president needs to do is, in layman's language, sign the request or the motion being taken to the court by the Attorney General of the Federation. So if you look at that, that's even enough to incite people. Like, are you signing the proclamation order because you know the court will grant you your request? These are things that the executive should get probably iron out. Then secondly, Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information, I think needs to educate himself about a lot of things when it comes to government, national issues, and security. You can't. There's something called frequency jammer. I don't think you need the United Kingdom if your DSS and NSA is working. You don't need the United Kingdom to block the frequency of Biafra radio getting to Nigeria. China didn't wait for Facebook to stop or block Chinese from accessing Facebook. China blocked it so well that nobody in China, using any IP in China, can access Facebook. Same thing with North Korea. So it's when you have kindergartens, because they are at the point in time where they accused, these people accused President Goodluck Jonathan of being a kindergarten president. I'm
sure that if the Muhammadu Buhari you'll be the first to accuse him of
Don't get me wrong. When it borders on national security, I've never been a pro-Biafra. So everybody that knows me, you can attest to that. I'm a pro-One Nigeria, I'm a pro-United Nigeria. Anything that counters that, I count it nonsensical and idiotic. Not that you cannot, the general perception or the global law agrees and gives you the right to self-determination and what have you. But my constitution, the